Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
Chiefs win. Cry, Eagles, cry.
Great, excited to be back early.
You know, every day I got the Three Stooges in the studio with me is a good fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So let's make sure he gets that bag.
F-R-A-U-D-S, fries! Woo!
Justin's way ahead in picks. That's all that you need to fucking know.
Show's over.
Show's over. We're going home. I would like to welcome you back to another page of the Playbook Sports Podcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Playbook Sports Podcast on this beautiful Tuesday evening. We got Opal, we got Chiefs, and we are here to talk a little basketball with you guys. Fellas, the Ncaa tournament, I mean, that's such a cliche. I'm going to hate myself for saying this, but this is madness. It is literally madness in March.
It is March Madness. I mean, first things first, obviously a 16 and a 15 seed just right off rip. Both winning. Absolutely insane. Second time ever 16 seed won. But I mean, that definitely won't be the last, though. Just the way players are evolving.
Yeah, that game was like, they wanted it more. Watching some of the highlights and everything, like they wanted to win that game way more than Purdue did. And what's crazy about FDU is they shouldn't have even been in the tournament. They didn't even win their conference tournament, but because the other team is still becoming a Division I school, they got in by default. And then they knock off Purdue.
Insane. Absolutely insane. They got to play the championship game knowing that it didn't matter the outcome. You know, it's a free L. We're still in the tournament. How wild is that? And it pays off. But Purdue's got to be pissed. I mean, 3 straight years, massive upset. I mean, a 13 seed, 15 seed, 16 seed.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Tough, man.
That's so tough. It was funny that they have like the biggest kid that's come through college in Zach Edey, and they played the smallest team in the tournament based on average height. And they get beat. I was like, this is an actual David versus Goliath thing. I said it on our TikTok.
6'3" height versus 7'4". Absolute biggest guy in college, no doubt.
Yep.
Best big man in college. I mean, and they answered, you know what I mean? Their coach was saying it a little bit earlier in the week, and I can't lie. I saw that and I was like, man, that's dumb. That's going to come back to look stupid. But Purdue, instead, they fall. Like you said, Nate, David Goliath story. Absolutely insane. And Purdue, I mean, that's tough. You got some freshman guards out there playing big minutes, but really not showing up when you needed them most. And, I mean, Edey was pissed in the press conference, rightfully so. But Purdue's future is definitely a question.
Yeah. They can't get it done in the big games, man. Like, I didn't have them going very far on my bracket. And, Addison, you had them in your Final Four. I mean, that's just tough, man. That loss, like, that was not expected.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at brackets, 99% of them are going to have those 1 seeds winning for a reason.
Exactly.
It's just, is this going to be the year where it happens? And it was. Yeah.
Twice now in what, the last like 7 years?
Yeah, it's actually insane.
I think 5 or Virginia won it in 19, I believe, correct?
Yes.
That sounds right. So maybe like twice, 5 years even is crazy.
They definitely won with 19 because their point guard Clark was a freshman on that team, I want to say, and he was now.
He made the pass, and I think it was the Elite Eight against Purdue.
Yeah, to get to the Final Four or something like that. Yeah, because their coach called that out in the press conference.
So it was in 2018, really 5 years ago.
That's really Purdue's only way to like bounce back from this. Virginia, literally, that's what people almost said back then too. They got to win the title now. Like they have to win the tournament, and they did. Do we see Purdue doing that? I don't know.
Not with Edey out the door and them losing a bunch of dudes, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was obviously the biggest upset. But then another team that in the videos we released, I was very low on. They always let you down. Colin, your boys from Arizona. What happened? Tell me about it.
They just didn't score. They literally didn't score a point in the final 4:57 of the game. So I mean, it's for a team that averages like 83 a game to score 55. I mean, that's 30 points difference. So I mean, at the end of the day, it seems like Princeton just wanted it more. Truly.
I mean, we talked some smack about Princeton too. Like, I had Arizona losing in the second round, but not in the first round to Princeton. Another year, another 15 seed, making a run. They're still going, man.
I think that's 3 straight years of 15 seed is won now. You know what I mean? So it's like you almost got to respect 15s as much as you respect those 12s as you do in the 5s, just because it's starting to happen more and more.
Yeah, and when you look at how Princeton has won their first game, like they've looked like the better team on the court both games. They dominated Missouri. I mean, straight up.
Start to finish, dominated Missouri.
They were so clearly the better team.
Yep.
That one stood out to me. That's why I've got them as my like best team from rounds 1 and 2. Like that one of my best teams, not the best, but one of my best. Like Princeton has looked so good in both of their wins. You know, I was bummed that Missouri won because I had them losing. They knocked out my sleeper of the year in Utah State. That was sad. But so then I'm thinking, maybe Mizzou's actually going to do something. No, they got just beat up and down the court by Princeton. Super impressive.
Yeah, 15-point loss. And like you said, Colin, I mean, at one point in the second half, I mean, it was over with 8 minutes to go. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of time. Princeton's just holding on. Mizzou just can't get close. Can't stop. Princeton just keeps hitting shots. And again, they're playing good defense as well on top of it.
Yeah. It was real good. One of the craziest games was actually the second game of the whole tournament. Number 4 Virginia, another constantly choking team against number 13 Furman, who Colin had winning that game. Colin called that upset. I mean, I feel really bad for the guard Clark from Virginia. What were we doing?
That's going to be a play he either watches over and over or he just never watches again for the rest of his life because he knows how bad of a moment that was. I mean, watching the replay, as a guy cross court completely wide open and they had a timeout left. Nate, you brought it up. Maybe he thought there was less time than there was and he was saving the game, no chance to get trapped. But man, you just cannot throw the ball away like that. I just don't get how like that is your basketball instinct. Like probably has never done that in that scenario. That's also to me, that's a little bit coaching there though. Every player's got to know there's a timeout. Maybe the players did though, and he still fell to that moment. But man, really bad time. But what a shot though from Furman. The guy that hit the shot for Furman as well, he actually hit a shot in high school to send his team to state in overtime, just pull up jumper buzzer beater. So he's got it in his blood.
He's icy.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
But was there any doubt whenever he pulled up for that 3? Like we just knew that was him. You just knew after that turnover and the step in, like rhythm step in 3, you just know that
100%.
Was.
Yeah, that was just scripted. I mean, it was damn near scripted in my opinion. Like he chucks it up in the air, pulled down by Furman. Furman finds the open dude, and of course he's gonna drill the winning 3. Like he's not gonna miss that shot. He's just not. And
the dude even said in the post-game interview, he was like, I've been struggling all game, but I knew I was making that shot. He's like, I knew I was making that shot. It's like, hell yeah, man. March God's on your side.
Yeah.
I will say Virginia had a decent look, though, at the buzzer as well. Like 2.2 seconds. They drew up a decent play. They got under like 3 screens at half.
Yeah.
40-foot jumper. It banked, almost went in, but would have been crazy too. But man, what a shit way to lose. Especially for Virginia. Haven't won, I think, a title game since 2019. I mean, not a title game, a tournament game in general. And just another bummer way to go out. Absolutely tough.
Yeah, I was there in my classic position, Nate, hunched over, hands on the knees. What's going to happen here? Straight up above the head, jumping in the air as soon as he hits it. It's like, oh, shit, let's go.
That was unbelievable.
That game. They had no business in that game.
No. That was a good game. Other notable upsets from the first round that I wanted to mention: Arkansas over Kansas. That one was a crazy game, a 1-point game to knock out Kansas.
Wild.
I hate to say one of us maybe had them as our champion.
Opal.
Colin. Yes.
Absolute heartbreaker.
Yep, losing Bill Self, I think, had more of a
big impact.
Realized.
Definitely.
Although I didn't know until the tournament started, that first game against Howard, they mentioned the guy who was taking over as like the interim head coach had been one of Bill Self's assistants since 1991. So it's like, fuck, if anybody knows this guy, it's Bill Self.
Yeah, exactly. But still, though,
Bill Self, it's this guy.
Yeah, at the end of the day, as much as that assistant coach has definitely got those players' hearts and stuff in tune with him, but Bill Self is the guy going into homes at the end of the day, finalizing pitches, getting recruits coming in. It's tough when you lose that guy, and you're worried just about himself in general.
Right.
You know what I mean, you're worried about him, just how he's doing, hoping he feels better. The whole situation just goes well. Obviously, can impact play a little bit. Arkansas sneaks one out. Another team though, Nate, Michigan State.
Yeah.
Running off a little early in the tourney with a little Big Ten, but upsetting Marquette as well. I thought they looked good the whole game throughout that as well. Marquette made it close a couple times.
Yeah.
But Michigan State pretty much dominated the game start to finish. I mean, they came out to a huge lead. Marquette chips a little bit. Michigan State didn't really fall to that. They brought that lead right back up to double digits, and I mean, ended up winning the game by 9. Good for Tom Izzo and the boys.
Yeah. That was a team that I was low on. And Colin, you said, give me the team that has Tom Izzo, man. That's spot on. Like, once you get to Marks, dude, it really did. Like, Virginia's coach failed, and Tom Izzo has not yet failed in this tournament. And like, Kansas was missing Bill Self, and they just fell out. Like, coaching is so important, which is why I think that Farley Dickinson coach or whoever just got that job at Iona immediately, because he won. They beat the number 1 team, and it comes down to coaching. And I think that is why he, like Addison said, strike while the iron's hot, man. Everyone's talking about him.
It definitely sucks for the 16 seeds to lose that coach, but at the end of the day, I think you got to accept that just with what it is, you come in as a 16, just that weekend, it's almost worth losing the coach, just build such a name. Like at the end of the day, now you're part of history forever. I mean, it happened last time as well. It's just when you do something that crazy, some team is going to just say, hey, we're taking a shot on you. Why not? You did it there. Imagine if you were able to get better recruits, the whole 9, you could do it better here, and good for him though.
Yeah, agreed.
I'll say quickly going to Arkansas before we move on. What do you think about their coach jumping up and ripping the shirt off?
Ripping his shirt off. I love it.
The round of 32, pal.
Hey.
Yeah, that's true. Massive
I mean,
upset over the 1.
Big win. I get it, but it's like, I don't know if I like it. It reminds me of Pat Bev and those Timberwolves winning the play.
Taking off his jersey.
Yeah, celebrating like they won.
True.
Like,
I will say that's another thing like that where there's a little question. FAU with that 360 at the end of 10th, man, way to just put a target on your team's back. Like,
yep.
Everyone
like they could have been the Cinderella team of the whole tournament, like a 9 seed going far, looking good. And now they're public enemy number 1 because you just tried to show up that a 16 seed. Like if you were beating Purdue, okay, fine, showboat a little bit. Good job. You knocked out a 1 seed. You're playing a team that shouldn't even be in the tournament. And you're showboating to win by 8, to win by single digits. Good job.
Congrats. Yeah.
Well done. You did it, guys. You made it. Other teams that I have marked down as looking good through the first 2 rounds, we all had this team going far. Creighton. Creighton has looked fantastic. They are such a complete team, man. Like, not at any point have I been concerned about them winning.
No, the dominance just from start to finish, both ends of the floor. Creighton looks like they could go deep. I mean, Ken Palm, we talked about it a million times in our bracket video, but it's paying off. You know, a couple of these teams running deep here. It's like, damn, look where they're at in the Ken Palm. And another team that's doing that as well is UConn, man.
Yeah.
Really dominated St. Mary's. Defense really imposed. If that offense is playing the way they can, yikes. UConn looks really damn good.
UConn looks scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the 2 1 seeds in Bama and Houston that are still standing, they have looked very good doing what they're doing. Houston made me, a little I think maybe Houston, I'll have to remember back, but one of them kind of cut it close in their first round game for a little while.
Yeah. Houston against Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's what
I'll say honestly, it's crazy. You could almost argue that both those teams haven't played great.
Not as well as they could.
And they're both sort of still dominating. Yeah, sure, it was close round 1, but get the job done.
I will say that second half of the round of 32, their second game, that second half, they just beat the shit out of Auburn, 50-3 in the second half. Just absolutely, imposed their will on Bruce Pearl and Auburn there. So I mean, I have a lot of faith in them going forward, Houston, after that second half performance.
Yeah, they showed up there
because they had sat back and he was hitting step back threes, and it's like, all right, he's healthy. That girl's fine.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, that I think is more so what I was basing it off of, was how they've looked, especially in the second round. Like they each took care of business pretty handily when you look at the final scores.
Another team, man, UCLA. Love the way UCLA is looking right now, even with the Clark injury.
Yep.
Still looks absolutely great. I mean, and just experience. They've been there, done this. I mean, Jaime, the best player, has been in the tournament his whole life. You know what I mean? Like, he's Aaron Craft, but he's in the tourney Aaron Craft, not just in the Big Ten. It's like this guy just doesn't go away. And I cannot wait for the next round matchup, though. That's going to be absolutely wicked with Gonzaga and UCLA.
The NCAA tournament.
I think Nate might be lagging a little bit, but I mean,
I think we're losing Nate.
I think we are losing Nate, but I mean, we got to keep going.
I'm back.
All right.
You guys froze and I went, oh.
Oh, he's freezing again, baby. Look at that
Uh-oh.
face right there.
Oh no! Stop it, please.
Yes.
I thought he was faking us out with a fake freeze for the real.
Oops.
Got his ass. Yeah, no, another team that I really enjoy, Kansas State right now, man. We'll obviously get to it further up into the show, but man, underdogs this upcoming game against Michigan State. I don't know if I buy that. I think Kansas State might make a little run. They look really good.
Agreed.
Love to see that too.
They did disrespectfully underdogged against Kentucky as well.
Yeah.
The higher seed and the better team all year in the better conference. And also, did you see Calipari after the game? Noel is their point guard. He's like maybe like 5'10".
Yeah.
Okay, he's probably realistically like 6'1", like listed, but he's
Yeah.
like 5. And Calipari was like, "Oh yeah, Johnson and the little guy, the little fella." And it's like this guy just dropped 27 on you,
Yeah, see,
bud.
a little fella just knocked you at the tourney, bucko.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Are you trying to like demean him? Like, oh, the little guy. It's
Yeah.
like, what the little guy would be your starting point guard if you let him,
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
or if he let you, if he came to you,
Right.
like, yeah, they look damn good.
Yeah. And then my team, Tennessee, who I've got going all the way, looked real good. Not a little shaky in round one, I won't lie. I was a little nervous there round one, but round two, they looked very good against Duke, beating them by 13, held them to 52. I think Duke had someone go out hurt, right?
Someone
It
got
was,
hurt in warm-ups, I want to say.
I'm blanking on his name. I think he's number one for sure, but I'm blanking on his name. I don't know. But yeah, one of their starters went out, and then one of their other starters, I think it was Proctor was his name, maybe. No,
Blake's.
Who?
Was it Blake's? He only played 1 minute. He's a guard. Or Grandison, he played 17 minutes. I don't know Duke very well.
No, Granderson's the bum that transferred from Illinois.
Oh, that's right. It is. I knew I recognized that name.
No, Lively, I think, is one of their big man. I think he's their power forward. He didn't even take a shot, I don't think, all
He
game.
did not. He just had 11 boards.
He's like their third best player. I'm forgetting the guy who got hurt. I want to say like Daniels is his last name, but I know that's not right.
Yeah.
Mitchell. Maybe it's Mitchell is his last name. I can't think of it.
Roach?
Hurt in warm-ups. No, Roach was fine.
Did he play? Okay. Mitchell. Mitchell.
Yeah, I think it was Mitchell. He got hurt in warm-ups, didn't play. So that's one starter down. And then one of your other starters doesn't even attempt a shot. So it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yikes. Yeah.
But yeah, Tennessee just dominated start to finish really in that game.
Yeah. Duke was beat up, but yeah, Tennessee looks solid defensively, man. I love that D.
It was at the end of
55 points. Good luck.
Yeah. So